Hi, I'm Paul,
And I'm Lynn,
and we are
along the way.
And we're really glad to have you coming along with us as we do another video. And today we're going to start something called Why Churches Resist Change.
Yeah, we're going to do possibly a 10-part series. So today we're just going to introduce the topics.
The top 10 reasons in our experience that churches resist change. And we're just going to go through these, like she said. We're not going to answer them today. They're going to launch these topics for the next several weeks, hopefully. So, you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right. So, number one, and this is not in any particular order of importance or timing or anything like that. It's just as they came out. Change is scary. And that's regardless of your situation, your particular church. Change is scary. People don't like change. And we like to stay with the status quo. We like to be comfortable knowing things are the same. So the question is, how do you turn such a church around so that it welcomes change? And that brings
Good question.
So that brings us to number two.
Which is the why factor. Why do we need to change? There's a reason. So
churches do what they do for a reason, and so in the past, when churches emphasized cathedral ceilings and suit and tie, they did that for a reason. They valued something that those represented. Today, it's far more comfortable, far more relaxed, and we do that for a reason. We value the reason behind it. So the question, I guess, there is, how do we deal with such differences as we find them in the church, navigate through that well?
yeah. And we still have the variety of ages. So the young people want one mode and the older people want another mode.
Yeah.
So balancing that. So number 3 is
Clinging to past glory. And we all are familiar with this, I'm sure. Churches that had a great past, and the people that you inherit perhaps are remembering that past and want to experience that once again. Unfortunately, what happens often is they confuse what happened, the good stuff that happened, they confuse that with the way it came about, what they did, and think that that model can just stay the same generation after generation. So I guess the question there is, how do we help such a church turn around so that it is expecting glory days in the future?
And if you've noticed, we both turn towards your right. I think it's your right while you're viewing.
It's our right.
It's our right, so it's probably your left. Anyways, we do have on the computer the list of questions.
Yeah.
So we won't forget.
and so that we can stay brief.
Yes, there's that. So the fourth one is resistant DNA. We've never done it that way before. I think we've all heard that in ministry more than once.
For sure. And I don't think it needs much explanation. The question is, how do we lead a church out of that comfort zone of doing it all one way all the time? How do we do that successfully without leaving a lot of damaged people behind?
Yeah, no, that's a key in all of the
of
changes.
these, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
So number 5 is power and control. And that's where a certain individual or perhaps a clique exercises control over all aspects of church life, and disallowing any challenge or threat, whether that's real or perceived. And so the question...
in other words, politics.
Politics, that's right. Yeah. So the question there is, how do we help a church break free from the politics and power plays and become healthy and vibrant places of kingdom ministry once again?
All right. And 6 is apathy. Just that. How do you explain
Kind of that
it?
loss of vision, that loss of purpose. Why are we here? What
Yeah.
are we
Why
doing?
why do we come every Sunday morning?
That's right.
And rediscovering and igniting that fire within to bring about the change that needs to happen.
Exactly. Which brings us to number 7, and that is past failure. Churches can be very afraid of launching into something new because they've tried things that were different and new and they didn't work. And so now they're skittish, they're gun shy about trying something new. So how do you help a church get past that hump, over that hump, and explore the possibilities once again?
And then the other point, number 8, is senioritis.
Senioritis.
Which in college means you can hardly pay attention.
you're so anxious to
You want to
graduate,
graduate.
be done. That's right. Yeah, and in church life, senioritis has a little bit of a different slant, and that's where your church is largely made up of seniors. And many of them, probably most of them, they love the Lord, they love the church.
And they're faithful.
And they're faithful.
They've been with the church through thick and thin.
Right.
And,
but they're no longer the young people who can do what they once did. And so they can feel frustrated. And the church and leadership that wants to see young families come in again can be frustrated. They just don't know how to get past that. So that's the question there. How to help a church that's largely elderly thrive once again for the kingdom.
Yeah, and a lot of churches are facing that today.
Yes.
All right. Number 9.
Scar tissue. And that's where an overeager pastor has come in, and he's got all kinds of new ideas that have backfired. And
he's a bull in a china closet.
He's a bull in a china closet, and now the church is just terrified of repeating that process. So how do you help a church past that? There's some overlap with all of these, as you can see.
And finally,
number 10.
Not the movie.
Not the movie.
The money pit.
And that's simply where you may be in a church building that is old and in need of lots of attention and maintenance. It's just expensive to run. You may not have enough financial resources or resources in people or resources of any kind. Everything just seems to be draining you, and all your board meetings are about money. How do you help a church break free from that grip and become effective for the kingdom once again? So, those are our top 10.
Those are our top 10. And we'd like to have you address any questions you think are topics regarding this theme of change. And put them in the comments below.
Yep.
And then we can tackle those too.
We will, and perhaps what we'll do is, as we start through these top 10 in our future videos, if you put your interest in one in particular, we may tackle that out of the order that you saw it in this today. And we'd love to hear what your top 10 might be, things that might not be on our list but are on yours. So
absolutely. So
hope you found this helpful and intriguing, and you're interested in what's coming up next. If so, what do they want to do?
Subscribe.
And
put a comment below.
Put a comment below.
And we look forward to seeing you down the road. This is Lynn.
And this is Paul for Along the Way. God bless.
Bye-bye.